The Awakening. The starship Defiance drifted through the black void, its hull bearing the scars of countless battles. Commander Kai Solaris stood before the viewport, his weathered face illuminated by the glow of distant stars. 3,000 years had passed since the fall of Earth, yet the pain remained as fresh as yesterday. Humanity, once a thriving civilization of billions, had been reduced to mere thousands scattered across the fringes of the galaxy. Commander, Lieutenant Elise Chen approached, her footsteps echoing on the metal deck. "The Council is waiting." Kai nodded without turning. "Tell them I'll be there shortly." When Earth fell, it wasn't through a fair fight. The Nexus Coalition, an alliance of 7 advanced alien species, had feared humanity's potential. They saw in humans a dangerous unpredictability, a relentless drive that threatened their established order. Rather than risk humanity's eventual rise, they chose annihilation. The attack came without warning. Coalition warships emerged from hyperspace and bombarded Earth with graviton weapons that shattered the planet's crust. Within hours, the cradle of humanity was nothing but an expanding cloud of debris. The few humans who survived were those already in deep space colonies or aboard interstellar vessels. They fled to the edges of known space, becoming refugees in a hostile galaxy. For 3 millennia, the remnants of humanity survived in secrecy, passing down stories of Earth and the injustice of its destruction. They built hidden outposts in asteroid fields and on uninhabitable moons, always moving, always hiding. But they never forgot, and they never stopped planning their return. In the council chamber of the Defiance, 12 men and women, the leaders of the last human settlements, waited impatiently. They fell silent as Kai entered, his presence commanding attention despite his unassuming stature. "Dr. Nakamura," Kai addressed an elderly woman with silver hair. "Tell them what you found." Dr. Ray Nakamura activated a holographic display at the center of the table. 3 weeks ago, our deep space probes detected unusual energy signatures from the ruins of Proxima Colony. We sent a recovery team and discovered this. The hologram shifted to show an ancient storage vault. Inside, perfectly preserved, lay a sleek cylindrical device. "This," Dr. Nakamura continued, "is the Prometheus Protocol. It was developed by Earth's most brilliant minds just before the fall, but never deployed. It's a weapons system unlike anything the Coalition has ever seen." "What does it do?" asked a council member. "It creates artificial wormholes," Nakamura replied, her voice barely containing her excitement. "Not for transportation, but as weapons. It can open micro-wormholes inside enemy vessels, their defensive systems, even their planetary shields." The chamber erupted in murmurs. Such technology would change everything. For the first time since Earth's fall, humanity possessed a weapon that could challenge the Coalition's dominance. "There's more," Kai said, silencing the room. "Our intelligence network has confirmed that the Coalition is planning to systematically eliminate all remaining human outposts. They finally located most of our settlements. The extermination begins in 1 standard month." Silence fell over the council as the implications sank in. This wasn't just about revenge anymore. It was about survival. "We've hidden for 3,000 years, Kai continued. "We've built our strength in secret, preserving what remains of our culture, our knowledge, our very existence. But we can hide no longer. The time has come to fight back." No vote was needed. The decision was unanimous. After millennia of preparation, the last children of Earth would wage war against their would-be executioners. The following weeks saw frantic activity across all human settlements. The Defiance, once a solitary vessel, became the flagship of a growing fleet. Ships that had remained hidden in nebulae and asteroid fields for centuries emerged from hiding. Engineers worked tirelessly to integrate the Prometheus Protocol into their weapon systems. Meanwhile, Kai assembled an elite strike team. These weren't just soldiers. They were the best humanity had to offer, descendants of Earth's special forces, trained from birth for the moment when they would reclaim their heritage. Among them was Maya Okonkwo, a tactical genius whose ancestors had served in Earth's elite military units. Her expertise in asymmetric warfare made her invaluable for what was to come. "You realize we're outnumbered 1,000 to 1, Maya said during a planning session. "Even with the Prometheus Protocol, we're talking about challenging an enemy that controls half the galaxy." "Numbers aren't everything," Kai replied. "The Coalition has grown complacent. They believe us broken, scattered, and weak. They don't expect us to strike at their heart." The plan was audacious. While the Coalition prepared to eliminate human outposts, the fleet would launch a surprise attack on Nexus Prime, the Coalition's capital world. The Prometheus Protocol would neutralize their defenses, allowing the strike team to infiltrate the Central Command and access the Coalition's communications network. "Once we control their network," Kai explained, "we broadcast the truth to every world in the galaxy. How they destroyed Earth without provocation, how they've hunted us for millennia. We show them that the Coalition is built on genocide." "And if that doesn't work?" Maya asked. Kai's expression hardened. "Then we make them pay." The night before the fleet's departure, Kai stood alone in his quarters, gazing at a small worn photograph, one of the few authentic images of Earth that had survived. It showed a simple vista: blue ocean meeting the shore, green trees swaying in the breeze, clouds drifting across an azure sky. A world teeming with life, with potential. A world reduced to dust. "We're coming home," he whispered to the image, though he knew Earth was gone forever. Home now was not a place, but a promise that humanity would endure, that those who sought to extinguish the human spirit would face justice. As the human fleet prepared to depart, a message was sent to every ship, every outpost, every survivor. "Today, we are no longer refugees. We are the Phoenix Brigade, rising from the ashes of our world. Today, we reclaim our place in the stars." The Defiance led the fleet into hyperspace, vanishing in a flash of light. For the first time in 3,000 years, humanity was going to war, not as prey, but as predators. The hunted had become the hunters, and the galaxy would never be the same. On Nexus Prime, High Counselor Vex Lar of the Coalition reviewed reports on the final preparations for the human extermination. In his long life, over 5 centuries by human reckoning, he had overseen many operations against potential threats, but none had given him such satisfaction as the destruction of Earth. "The human problem will soon be resolved permanently," he informed his fellow counselors. "Our forces report they have located 97% of suspected human settlements. The cleansing will commence within the week." None of them noticed the small anomalies in their long-range sensors, dismissed as routine stellar phenomena. None of them imagined that after 3 millennia of running and hiding, humanity was about to reveal its true power. The storm was coming, and the Coalition was not prepared. The Reckoning. The Coalition's capital world of Nexus Prime glittered like a jewel against the velvet backdrop of space. A vast metropolis spread across its surface, home to billions from the 7 founding species of the Nexus Coalition. Orbital defense platforms formed a protective web around the planet, their weapons systems ready to obliterate any threat. They never saw the human fleet coming. The Prometheus Protocol activated silently, creating microscopic wormholes inside the defense platform's power cores. One by one, the platforms went dark, their systems failing without explanation. By the time Coalition forces realized they were under attack, 50 human warships had already broken through their outer defenses. On the bridge of the Defiance, Commander Kai Solaris watched the chaos unfold. "Phase 1 complete," reported his executive officer. "Defense grid neutralized. Strike teams are launching now." Kai nodded. "Begin Phase 2. All ships, commence bombardment of military targets only. I want minimal civilian casualties." This wasn't about genocide. Humanity would not fall to the level of their enemies. This was about justice and survival. Transport ships launched from the Defiance's hangar bay, carrying Maya Okonkwo and her strike force toward the Coalition's Central Command. a towering spire at the heart of the capital city. Their mission: infiltrate the facility, access the Coalition's central communications network, and broadcast the truth to the galaxy. As the human fleet engaged Coalition warships in orbit, Maya's team breached the outer defenses of Central Command. Decades of training made them formidable warriors, but they were still outnumbered. The corridors of the facility became battlegrounds as Coalition security forces rushed to repel the invaders. "We're taking heavy fire," Maya shouted over the comm as her team pushed forward. Level 42 secure, moving to the central core. Back on the Defiance, Kai received disturbing news. "Commander, Coalition reinforcements are inbound. Estimated arrival: 15 minutes. We can't hold them off indefinitely." The tide of battle could turn quickly. If the Coalition fleet arrived before Maya completed her mission, the human forces would be crushed. "Maya," Kai's voice crackled over the comm. "Status report." "Almost there," she replied between bursts of weapons fire. "2 more levels to go, but we've discovered something concerning. There's a secured archive here, marked with Earth identifiers. I think you need to see this." Kai felt a chill. "Send it to me." Moments later, his display filled with ancient records, Coalition documents dating back to Earth's destruction. As he read, his blood ran cold. The truth was far worse than they had imagined. Earth hadn't been destroyed merely out of fear of human potential. The Coalition had discovered something on Earth, something buried deep beneath the surface, predating human civilization by millions of years. An artifact of immense power left by an ancient, long-vanished species known to the Coalition as the Precursors. "They didn't just fear us," Kai whispered. "They wanted what we had." The records showed that after the bombardment, Coalition forces had extracted the artifact from Earth's shattered remains before completing the planet's destruction to hide the evidence. For 3 millennia, they had been studying it, attempting to unlock its secrets, a power source that could potentially grant control over the fundamental forces of the universe. "Maya," Kai's voice was urgent now. "Change of plans. The artifact from Earth, it's there, in Central Command. We need to recover it." "Understood," Maya replied, "but we'll need more time." Time was running out. Coalition reinforcements were approaching, and the human fleet was taking heavy damage. Kai made a difficult decision. "All ships, this is Commander Solaris. Implement Contingency Omega." Contingency Omega was their last resort. A coordinated strike, using the Prometheus protocol at full power. It would neutralize the Coalition's military capabilities, but would drain the protocol's energy cells entirely. There would be no second chance. Throughout the battle zone, human ships activated the Prometheus protocol simultaneously. Micro-wormholes appeared within Coalition vessels, causing systems failures and power surges. Weapons went offline. Engines failed. For precious minutes, the overwhelming force of the Coalition was neutralized. Within Central Command, Maya's team fought their way to the secured vault where the Earth artifact was held. The door was unlike anything they had seen, not metal or composite, but seemingly carved from a single piece of opalescent material that shimmered with inner light. "Unknown material," reported her team's scientist. "Definitely not Coalition technology. This is it. This is precursor tech." Maya placed breaching charges, but they had no effect on the strange door. Time was running out. "Commander," she called, "we can't breach the vault. The artifact is beyond our reach." In that moment, High Counselor Vexlar's voice echoed through the facility's communication system. "Humans of Earth," he spoke with contempt, "your futile resistance ends now. Our reinforcements have arrived. Your fleet will be destroyed, and your species will finally be erased from the galaxy. Open a channel." Kai ordered his communications officer. Facing Vexlar's image on the view screen, he spoke with quiet determination. "This isn't about conquest, Vexlar. It's about justice. 3,000 years ago, you destroyed our world to steal something that wasn't yours. We're here to take it back." Vexlar laughed. You have no idea what power you're seeking, human. The precursor artifact is beyond your primitive understanding. It was never meant for your kind. It was found on our world, Kai countered. If anyone has a claim to it, we do. Your world. Vexlar's expression shifted to one of surprise, then understanding. You still don't know, do you? Earth wasn't your original home at all. The revelation struck like a physical blow. Before Kai could respond, Maya's voice came through the comm. Commander, we found another way. The vault has a genetic lock. It responds to human DNA. The implications were staggering. If the vault responded to human genetics, then the precursors and humans were connected somehow. Earth hadn't just been humanity's cradle. It had been the precursors' world too. We are their descendants, Kai realized aloud. That's why you feared us so much. Not just for what we might become, but for what we once were. On Central Command, Maya pressed her palm against the shimmering door. It recognized her human DNA and dissolved, revealing the chamber beyond. At its center floated a crystalline sphere, pulsing with blue-white energy. We've accessed the artifact, Maya reported, awaiting instructions. Coalition reinforcements had arrived in orbit, engaging the human fleet. The Defiance took heavy damage, its shields failing. They were out of time. Maya, activate the artifact, Kai ordered. Now. Maya hesitated only briefly before reaching out to touch the sphere. The moment her fingers made contact, a wave of energy surged outward. The sphere's light intensified, filling the chamber, the building, expanding to encompass the planet and beyond. On every ship, every world touched by the energy wave, systems went haywire. Then, impossibly, a voice spoke, not in sound, but directly into the minds of all sentient beings in range. The children have returned. The voice was ancient, powerful, and undeniably alien. It belonged to no living species, yet all understood it perfectly. The cycle resumes. The legacy continues. As suddenly as it had begun, the phenomenon ended. The sphere's light dimmed, but didn't extinguish completely. Instead, it seemed to be waiting. In the aftermath, coalition forces ceased their attack. The energy wave had disabled their weapons, but left life support and other critical systems functioning. They were alive, but no longer a threat. Maya carefully extracted the sphere from its housing. Commander, I have the artifact. What now? On the Defiance's damaged bridge, Kai considered their options. They had come for justice and found something far more profound. The key to humanity's true origins and perhaps its future. Bring it home, Maya, he replied. It's time our people learned the truth. In the days that followed, an uneasy truce formed between humanity and the Coalition. The revelation that humans were descendants of the precursors, a species revered and feared throughout the galaxy for their advanced technology, changed everything. The artifact, now active after millennia of dormancy, seemed to respond only to human touch, confirming their genetic connection to the ancient race. High Counselor Vexlar, facing the collapse of Coalition authority, agreed to negotiations. For the first time, humanity would have a seat at the galactic table, not as supplicants, but as equals. The Coalition would acknowledge their crimes against Earth and make reparations. But the greatest revelation was yet to come. As human scientists studied the precursor artifact, they discovered it contained star maps, coordinates to worlds settled by their ancestors long ago, worlds where other descendants of the precursors might still exist. Humanity had lost Earth, but gained a galaxy. On the observation deck of the Defiance, now undergoing repairs in orbit around a newly established human colony, Kai Solaris looked out at the stars. The worn photograph of Earth was still in his pocket, but he no longer needed to look at it. Earth would always be remembered, but now humanity had a future to build. Commander, Maya joined him at the viewport. The Council is ready to begin the expedition to the first precursor world. They're requesting you lead it. Kai nodded. 3,000 years ago, we lost everything. Today, We've discovered we're part of something greater than we ever imagined. The stars beckoned, and this time, humanity would answer not as refugees or warriors, but as explorers reclaiming their cosmic heritage. The children of Earth had returned to the stars, and the galaxy would never be the same again.